Hi everyone, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy year of the I Am. Today we are in the middle of our path in between the portals of the time and the space. So because there is so many people that had joined us lately, that I will explain a little bit of why we are in the halfway. Today I paint this. I was doing this, connecting to the astrological things that we were speaking about today. Aquarius. This is what we do in Aquarius time. Detachment. Some people were asking about yesterday the message that I received, and it was my own connection with my own aliens. So was part of my task, something that clarified things that I had to do in the late months of this year. So I will explain something that is related to the constellation of Cygnus, which is the topic for today. Okay. Julio. I forgot about one day. So first of all, let's talk about this. These dates, nothing happens. Really, there's nothing really happening. These days are just codes, numeral codes. So they are you can read them from one side to another. It doesn't matter. So the reason why they are codes is because people can see it and recognize that something special is happening. And the reason why this is so important is because all the people can see and is connected to this same code. Okay, so it's not about what is happening in the stars, it's about what is happening in our consciousness. That is why. So this number is a sum of 8 to it's 8. So 8 is the number of the torus, which represents the time, the network of time. So that's why the portal of time is this day, was this day, exactly 1 year ago. And then this day will repeat again. And that day will repeat in February 2022. In February 2022, we will have again all these numbers. And why this date and not in 2020? Because this makes 12. All these numbers make 12, which is the space, the dodecahedron. So it's the structure of the space. So here the 12 is important because it closes the cycle of time and space. So in between the portal of time 2020, in between with this other portal in 2022, is the frame of the door where you go from one spot to another. So that's why in between February 2020 till February 2022, we will be living this kind of weird time of coming from one spot to another. So this is why 1 month after 2020, the COVID and the quarantine started and all those chaotic things, and don't expect it to end until at least the beginning of 2022. So yeah. So anyway, these years, for those who are working with the consciousness of the planet, these years will be will be the key for this transition. So we have still 1 year more of this weird situation. Remember that in between, we started this year, the August 4th, because Sirius, the star, rise up here in Cairo, in Giza. So we started the Syrian year according to the Atlantean calendar. It doesn't usually rise up the August 4th. It moves around, like sometimes it's a days before, sometimes days after. It depends on the position of the planet. But it was amazing that this past year, when I made this past year, the star rised the August 4th, which was my 33rd birthday. So this is why we end up also this conscious year in July 29th, the 2021, because remember that we have 5 days out of time according to that calendar. So the 30, 31, 1, 2, and 3 are the days outside of time. These things that we are doing every day are only going to be in between this day and this day, which is the time of the alignment of the consciousness of the planet in between this. So after this date, we have to connect the planet from the North Pole to the South Pole in the path of the dragon. So the last connection that we have like this will be July 29th, 2021. After that, I go to the North Pole. So from the North Pole to the South Pole, I will be going into certain places of the planet, and then I come back here for this date to close the whole project. And at the other day, I will go to sleep. This is why today, February 2nd, we are halfway to the end of the project of the I Am. We have too many things to do, so we will keep working. So for the people that says, if you knew that, why you didn't said anything about the virus? And the answer is I did in 2019. I explained about the virus in 2020, but I explained it in a different way, because for me it was like, I thought it would be more conceptual, because everything that they explained to me seemed like very spiritual way of saying it. So I didn't I had no idea that it would be so exactly according to what they said. But if you check my post in 2019, you will find it. So Cygnus is one of the northern constellations, and its bigger star is Deneb, that in Arab means tail, and is the tail of this I don't know the word in English for Cygnus. Swan? Swan? Oh, swan. Okay, thank you. Swan. Okay. Deneb, the tail, is one of the northern stars of the like Polaris that was the northern star approximately around 15 to 16,000 years ago. And it's also known as the cross of the north. So in the south, we have the Southern Cross, that we call it the Southern Cross, but actually its name is just crux, that means cross in Latin. So crux is only seen in the southern hemisphere, and Cygnus, the Northern Cross, is seen only in the northern hemisphere. Even if you look for it, if you are in the southern hemisphere, you will never see this one. If you are in the northern hemisphere, you will never see this one. So just, I want to be really sincere with you. I don't remember anything about what I wrote today in the blog. So I recommend you to read the blog, and I will do the same when I finish this video because I don't remember. But kind of the idea of what Cygnus means, I have. So the reason why I don't remember is because I don't know, it's so much information that I don't even know exactly what I'm explaining. So yes, it's like a fiction, like a movie. I don't know. But I think that is related to the seed and the cube. I have the Earth here, and Cygnus, the Swan, and the crux in the south, they represent really an important thing here for Earth. Well, Deneb in the Cygnus constellation was the northern star 16,000 years ago, approximately, and it was the moment when the Atlantean civilization started to rise and understand its purpose in life, in the reality. So basically, the purpose of this civilization was to reconnect the network of the planet through consciousness, so we could open the portals in between time and space. Remember that we spoke yesterday that in order to go through space, we need to activate the machines of time, which is through the vibration of the atoms. This is why the Atlantean civilization on Earth had to open the doors from north to south between time and space. And it's something that we used to call the Atlantean Cross. And the Atlantean Cross was the key of this civilization. So the cross of the north is the one that represented the 4 times: to be born, to grow, reproduce, and die, express, experiment, integrate, and transcend. And the Southern Cross would represent the 4 spaces: in front, behind, right, left, north, south, east, and west. So in order to connect the north and the south, the time and the space, they had to work with the connection of this structure, which was the 4 times manifested in space that we call solstice and equinoxes. So spring, summer, autumn, and winter. So kind of like this, in a very horrible way. So now we can see that we have the Northern Cross and the Southern Cross. And in the center, we find the Earth. And this Earth will be connected and held by spring, autumn, summer, and winter. So what we today call the Atlantic Cross is really a cube. So the cube can also be connected with an inner cube connected to every one of the dots, a structure that we call tesseract. So I can also expand this cube in different dimensions. Going up, going down, coming out from this side, from below, from anywhere. Proticta. So another way to connect and manifest this structure of the proticta is by taking this cube to each one of the sides, expressing different dimensions. Up and down, on the back, below. That's another way. So it was so difficult to make a graphic of this in the past in 3 dimensions that it was easier for the people to make this drawing. We call this chacana in South America. But this is not only from South America. This is from everywhere in North America, in Africa, in Middle East, in Europe, Asia. Is a pattern known by many. It's just that sometimes we just take this. So that's the cross that represents the proticta. Do you remember that we spoke so many times how to activate a cube? The question would be, how do we activate a cube? So to activate a cube, it's very easy. We just have to sit there and meditate. So the reason why we sit like this as humans to meditate is because this person is inside the structure of the tetrahedron. The first one will be the north in positive, and we have the base of Trinity, vibration, energy, and matter. This is the physical, the physical dense aspect. And then we have the aspect of the subtle. So we will have the southern negative, and above the Trinity that we will call love, wisdom, and will. Love, wisdom, and will. This is the structure that then we will know as the Star of David. So remember that in between these two, if we accomplish to get this structure, we will recognize that this structure of the Merkaba is the key to the expansion to everything, to all the things that are created in the universe. In the perfect vibration and harmony, you can connect with the basis of the atoms of the creation. So you go beyond the structures of this reality, and you, by this, can travel through time and space. And here's where we find the cube again. We find the cube. And here we have again our famous cube. So what the Atlanteans were trying to do by connecting all this northern cross and the southern cross in the center, activating this Merkaba, was trying to make the whole planet Earth into a spaceship that travels not through places, but through dimensions. So what the Atlanteans did was something that usually people does for themselves, like aligning, meditating, creating this pattern of light, maybe enlighten themselves as masters, highest masters. But what the Atlanteans tried to do is to do exactly the same with the whole planet. It's really big. How can you do that? So in order to accomplish that, you need to go and to look for the specific spots to build the machines to activate the entire spaceship. And they did it following the lines of this structure. So easy how they did it. They start to build the structure of the whole Earth. So how they did it? They open the structure. How do you open the structure? In the same way as, for sure you have heard the sentence, think out of the box. Think out of the box. So they expanded the box. Can you see the expansion of the box? Is what you call dodecahedron. So these are each one of the doors of the box opening, breathing, think out of the box. And this is how they started to find the matrix of the flower of life, the structure of the main creation of all the things. So the icosahedron. This is what makes the Earth a spaceship. The reason why the Atlanteans tried to do this to make the planet a spaceship is because all the other planets that were aware of this, they made their own worlds into spaceships. And through the network, they found how to travel through all the planets that are aware of themselves. If one planet becomes aware of each one of the nodes, it opens the doors through all the worlds in different dimensions. And they just tried to do this guided by Cygnus, and the ones in the south guided by Crux. Because through Cygnus, they found where was the axis at that time. So the core of all this structure is what we call an octahedron. It is an octahedron. That's the center of all the creation, is the core, the heart of the Merkaba. And what is this? It's basically a pyramid. So each pyramid is a key for the machine. Each pyramid is the heart that must beat in order to activate all this. So the pyramids are like the dun, 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 for the entire machine. Basically because it's the heart of a Merkaba. Remember that in the core of all this, there was a human meditating inside a Merkaba. So the way you activate the whole Merkaba is with your inner seed, the inner octahedron. And that octahedron is in between the heart and the plexus. So in order to activate the potential of this machine that we have inside, the seed of our creation, we have to be who we are, to find the I am in my plexus, and to share what I am with the others, with the we are. So the way we activate all this machine is by tum, 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 the heartbeat of the heart, the heartbeat. So if the heartbeat is out of the harmony, so you get lost and this is not activated. But if you find the balance and coherence, this is activated. And what I am activating here is the inner potential of my multidimensional aspects. My divine in the sky activated here in the earth. So what is this seed? This seed is the one that we sow long time ago from another dimensions. And how? Why? Because all these doors are open to any dimension. And as in anybody, in every reality, we have viruses. And some of these viruses are in different dimensions, distortions of the self. So this virus can go in between these doors. And the only way in which you can really heal a disease in between different dimensions is if the white cells and the proteins of those dimensions are born as a part of the immunological system. The only way in which you can heal a disease, a virus in the body, is if the cells live the experience of the virus, live the experience of what is the problem, so you can handle it from within. And from there, you can heal it. So to understand this, it's easier to compare with our body when we have a disease, a virus, for example, or a cancer, for example. So one cell of the body, starts to distort itself, and when it distorted itself, it starts to use the energy of the body to survive. So it starts to kill other cells. And imagine that these cells of the cancer is in the lungs. Suddenly, the lungs starts to it makes metastasis, and it goes to everywhere. So it changes the organs. It goes to the stomach. It goes to the heart. That's changing from one dimension to another. Change from one dimension to another, from one organ to another. It's exactly the same. So when this cells starts to make metastases, the immunological system starts to act, which is to try to find balance. And balance is what the confederation is doing. It's exactly the same as the immunological system. What it's trying to do? To find the homeostasis. Homeostasis is the factor that helps the body to be aligned, in balance. So the confederation is basically like that system. But how can you heal a problem that is from within, from the same body? You have to become those cells to understand where is the mistake. So they seed themselves in these worlds where there is the disease, so they could heal it from within. And it takes a lot of time to understand it from within. So that's why we seed ourselves from the alien worlds to live a human experience. So there are aliens that are the disease, and are humans that are the disease. But that makes them bad people or good people? No. They are just distorted or balanced. What is the mistake? That is what we are trying to solve day by day in this path of the I Am. We will keep talking about this because we have many days ahead. Look into the into the blog, because I wrote today about these aliens, about the White Brotherhood, about all of it. I'm sorry that is too much information, but it is needed to be spoken. The vibration for today is Le. The statement for today is, I am the word of truth. The code for today is water in the shape of ice. The third and denser aspect of the water's trinity is ice. It is produced when the soul's vibration is lowered and condensed until its energy stops flowing to become a pattern. These patterns are the potentials of the spirit, and the soul materialized in the form of a body, what we see as geometries, like the snowflakes that united create a denser matter, where the ideas and emotions of the universe materialize and register to be experimented. Let's go to the alignment. Take a deep breath and become aware of the environment that surrounds you. Use your imagination to make this space that you are in into a wide and big dark night until you find yourself becoming the planet Earth, floating in a vast space filled with stars. I pay attention above my head, and I see a constellation formed by 4 stars, the Northern Cross. The Northern Cross, Cygnus, and under my feet I can perceive other 4 stars shaping the Southern Cross, the constellation of Crux. And I see how the Northern Cross and the Southern Cross connect around me by 4 pillars, making me be inside a cube. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Take a deep breath, and I recognize myself crucified in between time and space, here and now. I recognize myself inside the box. I recognize that this is the time to think outside the box, to expand myself in all the possible here and every possible now, in all of them, in every dimension, and to expand myself in all of them. I have to reconnect with my deepest truth. I know, I know, I know. I am the word of truth. I am the word of truth. I am the word of truth. Take a deep breath and expand the box all around, opening the potential, opening the doors to the connection of all those conscious worlds in every constellation throughout the whole galaxy. All of the aware beings would be able to listen to my song of truth. I am the seed that was sown in the past by those who live in the future. In order to find the healing process in those worlds poisoned with unconsciousness. I am son and brother, daughter and sister of the White Brotherhood, a seed of the Galactic Confederation Command. I am a son of the stars and a daughter of the earth. I am. I am. I am. Take a deep breath and recognize I am the seed of the stars. I am the protector. I am the spaceship Earth. Softly, I start to caress the body, bringing this consciousness all around of it as I come back here and now. Thank you everybody for being there as always, and see you tomorrow at the same time.